Did you know that everyday objects all around you hide secrets that could completely change how you see the world? Get ready, because today we're uncovering 10 shocking truths about things you use every single day. First up, your toothbrush. It seems harmless, right? Well, brace yourself for this. Your toothbrush can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat if you do and replace it every 3 months. That's right. Over time, it becomes a breeding ground for millions of microorganisms. Think about that the next time you brush. This isn't just about fresh breath. It's about your health. The American Dental Association recommends swapping it out every 3 to 4 months, or sooner if the bristles are frayed. A frayed brush is less effective at cleaning and can even damage your gums. So do yourself a favor and mark your calendar. A fresh toothbrush is a small change that makes a huge difference. Next, let's talk about the microwave. This kitchen staple has a truly accidental origin story. It wasn't designed for leftovers. In 1945, an engineer named Percy Spencer was working on radar equipment when he noticed something strange. The chocolate bar in his pocket had melted. Intrigued, he experimented with other foods like popcorn kernels, and they popped. He realized the microwaves from the radar tube were cooking the food. This accidental discovery led to the invention of the microwave oven, forever changing how we cook and eat. From a military radar project to heating up last night's pizza, in seconds talk about an unexpected journey. Now, look at this simple little thing, the paperclip. It's so common we barely notice it. But did you know its design is considered one of the most perfect inventions in history? Patented in 1899, the classic gem-style paperclip design has barely changed in over a century. Why? Because it just works. It holds papers together securely without tearing them. It's cheap to produce and it's reusable. Countless attempts have been made to improve it, but none have managed to replace the original. During World War II, Norwegians even wore them on their lapels as a silent symbol of unity and resistance against occupation. It's not just a piece of metal. It's a masterpiece of functional design. All right, let's move on to elevators. If you have a fear of them, this fact might just change your mind. Elevators are statistically the safest form of transportation. Yes, you heard that right, safer than cars, buses, and even airplanes. The odds of being in a fatal elevator accident are incredibly low, something like 1 in 10.5 million rides. Modern elevators have multiple safety systems, including several steel cables, any one of which can support the entire car, and an emergency braking system that clamps onto the rails if the car moves too fast. So next time you step into an elevator, you can relax. You're actually safer in there than you were on your drive to the building. Here's a cool one: sunglasses. They're a modern fashion accessory, but their origin is far more serious. Sunglasses weren't invented for beach days. They were first used by judges in 12th century China. They used smoke-tinted quartz lenses to hide their facial expressions in court. This prevented anyone from guessing their thoughts or reactions to the evidence being presented, ensuring their impartiality remained intact. It wasn't until the 20th century that they became popular for protecting eyes from the sun. So, the next time you put on your shades, remember you're channeling ancient Chinese judges, concealing your emotions from the world. Hey, enjoying these mind-blowing facts so far? If you are, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. Share this video with a friend and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on more secrets from our everyday world. Okay, let's get back to it. Before rubber erasers, how did people fix their mistakes? The answer is pretty crummy. For centuries, people used wads of breads, specifically moist breadcrumbs, to rub out pencil marks. It worked, but it was messy, perishable, and you might attract some unwanted pests to your desk. Then in 1770, an English engineer named Edward Nairn accidentally picked up a piece of rubber instead of his usual breadcrumbs and discovered it worked much better. This happy accident led to the development of the modern eraser, saving artists, students, and writers from a world of messy, stale bread. Next up, the zipper. It's on our clothes, our bags, our shoes, it's everywhere. But can you imagine a world without it? Before 1913, people relied on tedious buttons, hooks, and laces. Then an inventor named Gideon Sundback perfected the hookless fastener. His design featured interlocking teeth that could be easily opened and closed with a slider. It was a game changer. Initially used on boots and tobacco pouches, the fashion industry quickly adopted it, and by the 1930s, the zipper had revolutionized clothing forever. It made getting dressed faster and easier, and is a perfect example of a simple invention that had a massive impact on our daily lives. Now, think about the humble ballpoint pen. It's so common we don't give it a second thought, but when it was first introduced, it caused a huge controversy. Teachers were horrified and actually banned ballpoint pens from their classrooms. Why? They believed that the ease of writing with a ballpoint would ruin children's handwriting. They were used to the disciplined penmanship required for fountain pens, which demanded careful pressure and control. They feared the ballpoint would encourage sloppy, careless writing. Of course, convenience eventually won out, and now it's the most widely used writing instrument in the world. Who knew your pen was once a classroom rebel? Let's talk about the umbrella. Today, it's just for keeping the rain off. But in ancient civilizations, it was a major status symbol. In ancient Egypt, Assyria, and China, umbrellas were used to shield royalty and nobility from the sun, not the rain. They were often large, elaborate, and carried by servants. The more important you were, the bigger and more ornate your umbrella. It was a clear sign of power, wealth, and high social standing. It wasn't until much later, in 18th century Europe, that using an umbrella in the rain became socially acceptable for the common person, particularly for men. So, your simple rain shield has a royal past. Finally, the alarm clock. That sound you love to hate every morning has a surprisingly rigid history. The very first mechanical alarm clock, invented by Levi Hutchins in 1787, had a major limitation. It could only ring at one specific time, and that time was 4 a.m. Hutchins was a clockmaker who needed to wake up for work before sunrise, so he designed the device purely for his own needs with no intention of making it adjustable. It wasn't until decades later that someone invented an alarm clock you could set to any time you wanted. So next time you hit snooze, be grateful you weren't living in 1787. From your toothbrush to your alarm clock, it turns out the most ordinary items have the most extraordinary stories. Our world is filled with hidden history and amazing secrets, just waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching. If you want to uncover more mind-blowing facts like these, make sure you subscribe to the channel. More incredible stories are coming soon.